Starting October 1st, 2025, Texas isn't just taxing what you sell. They're taxing the fees on top of the fees. That means every final value fee on sites like eBay, Poshmark, Etsy, and similar is getting taxed. Texas wants their cut. And look, this isn't hearsay or rumor. Unfortunately, this is already written into law. In this video, we're going to break down what's changing, what fees are getting taxed, how this tax is actually calculated, what the platforms are saying, and most importantly, how you can protect yourself as a Texas seller before it kills your profits. So stay until the end because Resellutions gives you real solutions. Before we get into the good stuff, here is a quick disclaimer. Look, I'm not an accountant, I don't work for Texas, and I'm not hiding in the Capitol basement somewhere. I'm just a reseller showing you what's coming. For real tax advice, talk to a licensed accountant in your area. The kind who actually likes reading the IRS tax code and gets paid to keep you safe. Now, a quick shout out to Robert Parker. He gave me the heads up about this after Poshmark sent him an email. Robert, from the entire community, we appreciate you looking out for us, brother. So what exactly is happening in Texas? Back in March, the Texas Comptroller amended Rule 3.330. That rule now says marketplace provider services, which is just parcel tongue for things like commissions, service fees, and listing charges, are officially taxable as data processing. What the hell does that even mean? That means when you sell on platforms like eBay, Poshmark, Etsy, Amazon, Walmart, Mercari, etc., the fees you pay to those platforms are now subject to Texas sales tax. And let me be super clear about this. This isn't sales tax on your item. The platforms already collect and remit that to the state on your behalf. This is a sales tax added to the high fees those marketplaces are already charging you. The state rate is 6.25%, but local rates can push it up as high as 8.25 depending on where you live. And whether you like it, agree with it or not, this is starting October 1st. Every Texas seller will see that extra tax automatically pulled out of each sale. Now, let's break it down because not every fee is exactly the same. Number one, what is taxed? Commissions. That means your eBay final value fee, your Poshmark 20% cut, your Amazon referral fee, I think they call it, your Etsy transaction and listing fees, all of those are taxed. Number two, what is not taxed? Payment processing. If the platform separates out payment processing as its own line item for accounting purposes, that stays exempt. Number three, this one is kind of mixed. Advertising. Basic ad fees like promoted listings are exempt, but advanced ad services with targeting, analytics, and data features are definitely taxable. So if you're in Texas, the line between what's taxed and what's not is fucking insane. You need a decoder to figure this shit out. Look, I know this sucks and it feels wrong, but it is what it is until we can change the law. As business owners, though, we need to adjust. So the first thing we need to do is understand what is actually taxed. So take a look at this math. Texas doesn't tax 100% of the data processing fees. They only tax 80% for whatever stupid reason. Here's what that looks like. Say you sell something on Poshmark for $100. Poshmark takes a $20 cut. Only 80% of that $20 is taxable, so $16. At a max local tax rate of 8.25%, the state takes $1.32 out of your earnings. So instead of walking away with $80, you're netting $78.68. $1 and change doesn't sound like much, but if you run that over 1,000 sales, you're losing more than $1,300 to the state. That's what sellers need to pay attention to. The compounding is always what gets you. So how are the platforms reacting? Poshmark has been the most transparent, it seems, already emailing sellers to let them know. This is where I got the email you see on screen, which was sent to me by our awesome Posse member, Robert Parker. Look, in short, it simply confirms that the tax will be deducted automatically. That's it. I believe Etsy has sent out some communication about this as well, but I don't have that in front of me. Look, eBay, Amazon, Walmart, and Mercari haven't said shit, but it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Texas requires every marketplace to collect and remit this tax, whether they've communicated it or not. Now let's talk about you, the seller. This tax doesn't hit the item price or the buyer. It hits the fees you already hate. It's small when you look at one sale, but over time, those taxes really do hurt. For example, let's say you're an average Poshmark seller that sells about $60K a year. You break this down further and come up with 100 sales a month and your average sale price is, let's say, 50 bucks. Poshmark takes $10 each time. A $10 fee times 100 sales equals $1,000 in fees. Texas takes 80% of that, which is 800 bucks. At 8.25%, that's 66 extra dollars gone to some magic piggy bank that a bunch of idiots hold on to. Multiply that across the year. That's almost 800 bucks right out of your pocket from that one platform alone. And if you're not on Poshmark, it doesn't matter. All the other marketplaces will do the same. Everyone is going to feel it. And look, let's not forget, your buyers aren't paying for this. You are. The buyers can't see what's happening, and honestly, most people could care less. It's only your profits that are shrinking. So why is Texas coming after marketplace fees? Simple. Because they can. Texas has one of the widest tax bases on data processing services in the freaking country. They already tax things like cloud storage, software subscriptions, and certain digital tools. By reclassifying marketplace services as data processing, the state just created a brand new revenue stream without touching the sales tax rate itself. Look, I hate to say it, but as far as shitbag greedy moves go, it's a smart way for the state to grab more money while keeping the base tax rate untouched. It's all politics. So now you're probably thinking, so what can I do about it? Well, first, know your numbers and know them well. Don't just track gross sales. Track net sales after marketplace fees and now after taxes on those fees. Second, build it into your pricing whenever possible. If your margins are already tight, this extra tax can turn a profit into a freaking loss. Even 1% adds up fast when you're selling in volume. Third, use tools, accounting software, spreadsheets, or marketplace dashboards. Whatever you use, make sure that they account for this tax. Fourth, keep the receipts. Every freaking penny you pay in taxes is a business expense that can be written off at the end of the year. Don't forget that. Fifth, stay informed, always. Some platforms will show the tax separately. Others are gonna just roll it into the fees. Trust but verify, as the saying goes. Check your statements super close. Now that we looked at the numbers, let's look at the big picture. Texas is the first to do this, but I have a feeling that they're not gonna be the last. If this works for them, why the hell wouldn't other states copy it? I mean, it's not like governments were set up to help regular folks like us, right? But look, shit, that's a conversation for another day. As far as the bigger picture goes, platforms are going to have to build new reporting tools to keep all these new numbers straight, and sellers who aren't paying attention will definitely lose money. That's why I always say you need to treat your reselling business like a business. Governments are always looking for new ways to screw you, and if you don't adjust, you're definitely gonna lose. Okay, now let's recap before we go. Starting October 1st, Texas sellers will pay a sales tax on marketplace fees. Not on the item itself, but on what the platforms charge you to do business. The state taxes 80% of those fees, and the platforms will deduct it automatically and remit it on your behalf. At least they'll do that, right? Shit. Only a few platforms have confirmed it, but it doesn't change the fact that it will happen. At first, it seems like a small piece that the state is taking, but when you add it up over a ton of transactions, it's significant. The only way to handle it is to know your numbers, adjust your pricing, and stay on top of your fees. We can't really do much more than that, unfortunately. Look, despite all of this, we have to keep positive and keep moving towards success, as I preach all the time on my channel. At the end of the day, business is about adapting. Adapting to rising taxes, changing rules, and fees that seem to keep just freaking piling up. Resellers who stay focused, adjust their approach, and keep pushing are always winners. Thanks for staying tuned all the way to the end. I freaking hate making videos like this because they hurt inside and they aggravate me, but it is what it is. To continue supporting the channel, you can always send your thanks with the thanks button down below. You can buy the Resellupe to add value to the photos you're already taking. Better photos means better sales, plain and simple. And you can become a member of the Resellutions Posse for less than gas station coffee and get access to videos that no one else has access to. And right now, if you become a 40cal top tier member, you get access to Bruce, an AI assistant that helps you make more money by showing you how to make better titles and better descriptions that are just copy paste. As always, give this video a like, share this with anyone that needs to see it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already so you don't miss awesome videos like this. See you in the next one. Peace. us. And cheers, everybody. Woohoo! With this topic is more like woohoo! Chingasatu. We gotta keep positive, man. What else is there? Let's do this thing. Texas tax, take 3. For those of you that are wondering, the other 2 takes were ruined by the dogs. Always. Ay, quédate ya. It's always the boy dogs ruining my takes because they're fighting, like always.